placing the stop loss and limit at the same time as placing the trade. As in the previous lessons, we are going to create an order on the Euro US dollar. When you have clicked to execute this trade, the Create Market Order dialog box will appear. What we will do now, and whenever we place a trade, is to add a stop loss to this order immediately, so it is done as part of the buy order. To do this, you will need to click on the Advanced button, which will then expand the stop loss and limit order functions like this. Now you can place your stop loss and your limit before you click the OK button to open the trade. This is usually a good idea, as it gives you a few extra seconds to reflect on the trade while you're entering the extra information. Also, as a precaution, it is much better to have a stop in place as soon as the order is opened. Let's add a stop loss and a limit of 20 pips for both. To do this, just add tick to the stop loss box here, and then you can adjust your stop loss. It is a lot easier to click in the pips option down at the bottom here, and then both the stop loss and the limit will be displayed in pips, not as an actual price point, which can get confusing. Here we can alter our stop loss to minus 20 pips. Remember that the stop loss is always a minus number. We can also do the same to our limit order by clicking here and placing a tick in the box, and then we can adjust our limit to 20 pips. Now remember that a limit order is always a positive number. Then we can click OK, and the trade is placed into the market with a stop loss and a limit order attached to the trade. This is how you should place your trades. Always add at least your stop loss to the trade when you open the trade. If you should need to change your stop loss, you can always click down here on the Open Positions tab, and this dialog box will appear again, and you can make the adjustments to either your stop loss or your limit order. While we are entering trades, just a little warning here, we advise you not to enter live trades at times close to major news announcements. If you do have trades open, then consider closing them prior to the news release. FXCM may not be able to honor your stop loss and limit exactly during price spikes caused by low liquidity in the market around news events. Okay, so you have opened a trade and added a stop loss and a limit order, which are effectively orders to close the trade at particular prices in the market. These orders will sit there until they are executed as the market moves up or down and reaches the levels you have set. But there is also a second method for exiting a trade, which involves using a manual close, where you do not need for the trade station to close your stop loss limit orders into the market automatically, so you can close that trade in advance of those orders yourself. There are a number of ways of doing that. Now later, when you increase the size of the trades from the minimum 10K position size, you can use the Close Order Entry dialog box to partially close a trade instead of closing the whole amount at once. We will cover that in a later lesson. But for now, we will look at simply closing a live trade manually and show you a couple of different ways of doing this. You can either click here in the Open Positions tab and just click on the price in the Close column. The Close Position dialog box will then appear, and you can simply close the trade by clicking the OK button to confirm your action. This will then close the trade at the current market price. Let's click OK and see what happens. You can see that once the trade is closed, it is removed from the Open Positions tab. It is now a closed trade, and all that information about this trade is recorded in the Closed Positions tab. Here in the Closed Positions tab, you can see all the trading information, including the ticket number, the account, the symbol traded, the size of the trade, and including the type of trade, a buy or a sell, and all the details about the trade. Here we can see the open and closing prices and the PL and gross PL. The PL is the number of pips that the trade recorded, and the gross PL is the actual money in Australian dollars that trade result delivered into your account. Now you may notice that this amount is different than the PL. That is because every day the Australian dollar fluctuates against the quote currency, in this case the Euro US dollar, and it is also the size of the trade could deliver a different amount per pip per currency. We can also access the close position dialog from under the Open Positions tab. To do this, right-click anywhere in the line displaying the trade. This context menu will appear as shown above, and we can choose Close Position. We can also use the Close button at the top of the screen, right up here. Now this will not close the trade, but it just opens the Close Trade dialog box for us. You need to highlight the trade you wish to close. You can click anywhere on the order line first to highlight it like this. We will then close this trade here, and again simply click OK in the Close Trade dialog box to close the trade. You can also close the trade by using your keyboard shortcuts to action a close of a trade. Just click on the Control key and the letter C at the same time, and this will bring up the Close Trade box. Select the trade you want to click on, highlight it, then click OK. There are many ways to close a trade manually. Now it's time for a bit of practice. What we'd like you to do is to place some trades. Place some buy trades and some sell trades. Set some stop loss and limits. Let those trades run, and you'll hear and see them closing out automatically. Then we'd like you to close some trades manually using some of the functions that we've actually showed you here today in this video. Remember, this is a demonstration account. This isn't real money. So you can play around and put as many trades on as you like to get some real practice. It pays dividends to be confident with the functionality of your software.